kitchen. Today we're going to make pumpkin biscotti. And we're starting off, we have our butter, eggs, vanilla, sugar, cornmeal, all-purpose flour, salt, spices, pumpkin puree, and cranberries. So we're going to rehydrate those cranberries. I'm going to put them into a liquid measuring cup that's glass. Cover it with water, microwave it for 2 minutes, strain it, blot it dry, and then I'm going to finally chop them so they can go into the recipe. Here are our cranberries. They were rehydrated, and then I've chopped them, nice small chop. Sit that there. And then here is our butter. Our butter is warm at room temperature. See, I can squeeze it. So that's when it's like this, we're ready to make it. And I've got 1 stick of butter already in here. We're gonna turn this on, paddle the butter until it's light and soft, and then we're gonna add our sugar, paddle that till it's light and fluffy. All right, our butter is nice and soft, and now I'm gonna add in our granulated sugar. Get that all in. I'm gonna start that up again too. I'm going to mix it for a while so it's light and fluffy, and I'm going to stop and scrape down with the spatula every so often. Make sure I get all the ingredients incorporated. So once the butter is light and fluffy, we're going to add the eggs one at a time. So I'm just going to get one in there, mix it in, and then when it's completely combined, I'll add the next one. All right, both eggs have been completely incorporated, and now I'm going to add in our tablespoon of vanilla. I'm going to mix that in completely, and then we'll add in our pumpkin puree. And while that's mixing, I'm going to now add together all of our dry ingredients. So here is our 1 pound 9 ounces of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to add in our ½ teaspoon of salt, our 1/4 cup of cornmeal. This is a biscotti recipe, so you're probably wondering, why is there cornmeal in the biscotti recipe? That actually helps keep it dried out, so that way it doesn't absorb moisture and the biscotti stays hard. This is a dunking cookie, so you're supposed to dunk it in your coffee, so you want it to maintain a firm, dry, crunchy texture, and the cornmeal helps to absorb. It's hydroscopic, so that'll absorb any extra moisture in it. And now we're going to add in our spices. We have 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, our ground allspice, a ½ teaspoon of ground allspice, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves. Cloves are very strong, so you always have that the smallest amount. And then we can stir that together. I'm adding in the pumpkin puree. We'll get that mixed in together, and then we will add in all of our mixed in dry ingredients, and then lastly the cranberry. Okay, there is our mixture. I've added all of the dry ingredients. Get that back in. Put it on low so it doesn't go everywhere, so the flour doesn't go all over your counter. And stir it. Turn the machine off and scrape down the sides. Whoa! So before all of the flour is completely incorporated, you're going to add in your cranberries, and then we'll mix all of that together, and then we can shape the log. So I measured out 18 ounces of the dough, and then I rolled it into a 13-inch log. So I have it here on our tray, and then I'm going to bake it, the first bake, and then we can slice them, and then we'll bake them again. Here's our log, and I'm about to put it in the oven, and I just press it down to flatten it out a little bit with the palm of my hand, and then we're going to bake it 300 degrees, and then when it comes out, We are let it cool a bit, and then we're gonna slice it thin and lay them out and re-bake them. Here is our baked lob, the first bake, and this was in the oven for a while. Now, if you notice, this end is a bit darker than this end, so that's why you need to keep rotating. I only rotated it once, and then I had to go teach a class, so I didn't get to continue rotating it, but that is why you want to rotate it, so that way it bakes evenly. I'm not sure if you can see. All right, see how this one end is a lot darker? Okay, so that's why you need to evenly rotate it throughout baking so that it cooks that way. So now what we want to do is create the traditional biscotti shape of the cookie. So we're going to slice this on the bias, which means on this angle. And we want to do a nice long piece, so we want to slice it on an angle like this. So I'm going to use a serrated knife to slice it, and I'll do the whole log. Here are the biscotti out of the oven. As you can see, we sliced them on the bias, so we got these nice long slices, and we've twice baked them so they dry out. They're nice and firm. We can decorate these with some maybe drizzle of chocolate and really jazz them up and make them look really fancy. But this is basically our recipe for pumpkin cranberry biscotti. For more recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.